Hey kids, this is Aaron from the podcast That Wouldn't Die, and Kevin and I use Zencastr. You think you're better than us, that you're using something else? You're wrong. Zencastr's the place to be. Who are you to deny it?
It's now super easy to record a podcast with Zencastr. Log in using your browser and start recording a high-quality podcast right away. Record studio-quality sound and up to 4K video with your guests. Go to zencastr.com/pricing and use our code DIEHARD and you'll get 30% off your first month of any Zencastr paid plan. We want you to have the same experiences we do for all our podcasting and content needs. It's time for you to share your story.
Only a fool will give up a chance for a 30% discount.
Doing here?
Somehow between 1 and 2:30, I traveled 400 miles. I've got no memory.
Past few months, people have been coming up to me and reporting strange things. Weird lights, strange phone calls.
Hello? Hello, John Clark. Who is this?
What do you do when someone comes into your office and tells you they saw this in their backyard?
My wife saw something. Drew pictures. Just like this. Who showed you this?
Welcome to the latest episode of the podcast That Wouldn't Die. I'm your host, Kevin. With me, as always, is Aaron.
How do?
This week, we're discussing the horror classic, The Mothman Prophecies, starring Richard Gere, Laura Linney, Will Patton. Deborah Messing is in this, and it has absolutely nothing to do for some bizarre reason.
Yeah, and her most triumphant role.
In her most triumphant, like basically, you got to remember, while she was on this movie, she was on like the #1 sitcom in America, Will and Grace. So that at that time,
so they brought her over and then realized they didn't know what to do with her.
100%. We better just kill her ass off. We'll give her 2 lines and then she's dead. Spoiler alert.
Dead.
Each week on the podcast That Would Die, we discuss guilty pleasures and forgotten classics of the horror and sci-fi genres with a comedic twist. Aaron, what's up with you? What's the latest?
I've had to take a break from Hannibal. I'm on the 3rd season. Mm-hmm. I'm like taking a little break.
That's when I took a break.
I can't. No, I mean, I've seen it already, but it's a little too dark and it sucks you in. It ties you in a knot and it's always like a cliffhanger. So you're like, oh shit, what's next? So I had to I'm taking a pause. I finished what was it? The fake Jane Austen one, the other Bennett girl or whatever. Yes. I had to watch that. That was a delight. Erin has a duality. She loves Jane Austen and horror films. And they do not mix. Erin wants to live in the city and the country simultaneously. So I don't know what to tell you.
Erin has multitudes inside her, clearly. It's a thing.
Yeah. It's the other personalities fighting for dominance. It's split, really, is what's happening now. But we're all too lazy to leave the house and kill people. We're fair. Like, it's hot outside.
Baby, it's hot outside. Becky and I have been watching The Pit. Did you ever watch The Pit?
I have never seen The Pit, but everyone tells me it's amazeballs.
I think so far there's only 2 seasons, and we're about halfway through of the 2nd season. We really enjoy it. But it's definitely a show for liberal-leaning people because there's multiple instances where somebody comes in and says, F these masks, and I'm right, and then, of course, they get schooled, I don't vaccinate my kids. What do you mean? COVID vaccine kills people. And, of course, one after another, they fall, It's like, I guess maybe
so it's a slice of life.
It is absolutely
literally that just sounded like my life during COVID, where my boss is ordering Invectramin or whatever, and COVID's not a big deal.
Yep,
ivermectin, and then she ends up getting hospitalized because the COVID she has is so terrible that she lost 40 pounds. She's in the hospital. Still trying to deny the flu really is much worse. I'm like, for sure. I'm always hospitalized with the flu.
All the time.
All the time.
Every season.
You
every
bastards. Yeah. That's so it's just a slice of life. And I'm in a super conservative area. So
Right.
yeah. These are just the things I witness on a daily basis.
They made
I'm like,
a joke on SNL where it was like the conservative version of the Pit, where they would prescribe like meat. Like, you need more meat is basically what it is. At one point they're like,
have you tried pork?
This guy's really upset. He's like, my whole family died from the COVID vaccine. It's like, really? Yeah, they got the vaccine and I killed them.
I told them not to.
Anyway, such is life. But it's a good show. I enjoy it.
No, literally, when I was on my river cruise, there was a bunch of people who had to change planes like me in Denver, and we were at baggage claim, and they're like, dude, I was watching the Pit. We don't have that subscription thing. So we were watching it on the plane. We watched the whole season on the flight over. I'm like,
good.
all right, check it out.
It's kind of like 24, because it's like it's one day, essentially one shift on the ER. But okay, that just means each hour is the next hour, essentially, of the show. Does that make sense? What I'm trying to say?
It does.
Okay.
But so it's like, what city is this where there's just people are dying every 3 minutes? So I guess it's not, Kern Medical or whatever.
where they turn you away if you've been vaccinated. No, it's Pittsburgh.
It's kind of like Law and Order, where there's like 12 people murdered in New York City every single day.
100%. That's what it is.
In some horrible thing. And it's just in this precinct.
Yes.
Lord knows. So there must be like 200 people murdered in New York City. So much so that I was like frightened to go to New York. I'm like, oh, Lord.
You thought it was
always
like
the tourists that just got off the bus or whatever, and they got picked up and sex trafficked and heroin overdose before they were gang raped by a Russian mob, and 100%. They kidnapped their children, and
100%. Oh, it's a whole thing on the Pit, and they show you everything, every cut of the scalpel. They're zooming in there to show you exactly what it's like. First episode, Becky.
It's not like All Creatures Great and Small, where they're just shoving their hand up the cow's rumpus.
If only. If only. This was like a Fulci film. I was like, sweet Jesus. Do we have to see another close-up? Anyway. And a lot of bodily fluids as well. People getting hit with feces.
Only a dozen popped eyes.
It's pretty standard. Sweet Jesus. It's a good show, though. I enjoy it. It's addictive.
All right. The problem is all these shows are intense dramas.
Yes.
So how am I supposed to go to sleep after that? I was just complaining to the hairdresser. All these shows are like amazing, but you feel ill because you're so stressed. Why are there no good comedies?
This is a question, because honestly, I have not watched a half-hour comedy since like Seinfeld and Friends, and even then I didn't watch like every week. It wasn't must-see TV for me.
Maybe 30 Rock was the last funny comedy.
Modern Family.
I've watched that
popular.
A couple of times. I burned out early on that.
I'm just saying there are popular sitcoms that do exist,
but there's
in
no
the world.
Streaming. Where are the streaming? Where's the HBO streaming comedies? Is it just too hard to be funny?
It is.
Because I feel like for 20 drama series, there's still I was like going to be one comedy, but I couldn't think of what that comedy was.
It's hard. Comedy's harder. That's why. You got to have jokes. You got to make me laugh. It can't just be pleasant.
Got to be funny, you son of a.
100%.
Yeah, I mean, what was the one with the larger lady comedian? Because that was beautiful. I did enjoy that one.
The one with a larger lady comedian.
She goes back because her sister dies. You never saw that one?
You're
And
gonna have to give me more
she
than this.
develops this intense friendship with this gentleman she went to high school with, but he's gay, and then he gets in a relationship. So now she feels jealous. You never saw that one?
This isn't
You
Baskets or
talk, and I will
whatever.
find
One
it.
of your shows.
Okay, I did like Baskets because it fake took place in Bakersfield. They even went to a fake wool growers.
Do not stop to look up what is the sitcom you're thinking of in the middle of our GD podcast. Please, Aaron. For the God of, in the name of all that's decent and holy.
It is the greatest show.
Well, if you remember it, you can tell us later. Why don't you give us your 30-second synopsis of the Mothman Prophecies? Good Lord.
Some freaking cryptid shows up, terrorizes some people in some coal mining town to warn of bad things coming. Just not enough to really help people. The end.
I remember seeing this movie in the theater and leaving the theater going, man, that was creepy. I had a slightly different reaction this time around, if I'm being honest. Aaron, when was the first time you saw the Mothman Prophecies?
I think I saw it on cable, and I pretty much have the same reaction that when I saw it the first time.
Which is what?
Which is yawn.
Yawn! It's a sad situation. Well,
although I still want to be I saw someone with a beautiful Mothman costume, so I am still not opposed to being the Mothman for Halloween this year at school. So I'll try not to schedule any IEPs for that Friday of Halloween.
I went out of my way to try to terrify my little nieces and nephews when I was in Florida of the well-known Florida cryptid, the skunk ape. That there's a skunk ape roaming around Florida chasing people. Yeah. I'm a cryptid person.
No. Why don't you just scare them about all the Scientologies running around their neighborhood?
I'm not trying to scare them for real. I'm not trying to give them real. Yes, there are real reasons to be afraid in Florida. No question.
There's lots of reasons. There's gators. There's a whole series called Man, It's Florida.
100%. There's bath salts. Yeah, there's all sorts of things that happen only in Florida. It's like somebody said,
bath salt's still a thing. It used to be a thing here.
I remember when bath salts, it was like turning people into zombies.
Somewhere. By the way, the show is Somebody Somewhere, and it is beautiful.
I've never even heard of it. Who's the heavy-set comedian?
Well, you will now.
The star. No, well, that means
her
nothing.
Name. Oh, well, thank you for making me close.
I thought you would look it up.
Michelle Bateau.
Oh yes, know her well. I'm gonna
shut your mouth. I didn't know who she was before, but now I see her everywhere. No, they won a bunch of Emmys.
Okay,
it's good.
Fair enough. Yeah, I'll check that out.
Somebody Somewhere.
Somebody
she goes back to Kansas, estranged from her living sister, very close with her sister that passed away. She's living in her dead sister's house, and dealing with her past. But it is beautiful. The end made me weep, but in a good way.
I don't believe you.
Not the way this one made me weep.
The Mothman Now, here's the thing. When I saw Mothman
I had such a hard time staying focused.
I did too. When I saw it in the theater, I saw it at night. So I remember stepping out of the darkened theater at night thinking there was Mothman coming to get me. This time I watched it, 25 years later or whatever it was, in broad daylight as I'm falling asleep in my chair after lunch. Essentially, this is so different experience. Different experience to say the least.
Oh my God.
It was kind of go ahead.
I don't even understand what the hell why is it a moth? When I look at those drawings, am I seeing a moth? It looks more like Dracula at a cape or something. I don't know. But because they never show you it. They show you these blurry things and you see people's drawings.
There's one moment where if you pause just right, you may see the Mothman. And that is at the beginning when Deborah Messing is driving the car recklessly on the black ice and the Mothman kind of flies right up to her windshield.
Right.
So if you pause it, maybe you see it. I did not have the motivation, even at that point, 5 minutes into the movie, to pause it to see what the Mothman looked like. So there's
I
no
did
grand
not have
reveal.
the motivation either. So I'm thinking it didn't happen. I think it's just a blur. You're never going to freeze it at that perfect moment where you got like a picture of him and he's like giving you the thumbs up. Like, I know you're looking, Kevin.
But this is a real cryptid. Like people have talked about the Mothman. People have had Mothman sightings before. This isn't just some invention for the movie. And in fact, the movie's based upon a book that was written in 1975 about a real incident that occurred in like 67 and 68. So how about that?
Right.
How about that?
It gives you prophecies. And if it can call you on the goddamn phone and speak to you through your drain, why can't it say, on this date, this will happen?
Well, and no question. I mean, there's the scene where
20 minutes of
yes.
What am I holding? What's
Yes!
my middle name?
Yes.
Am I circumcised? But not the bridge is going to collapse.
Right.
On Christmas.
Yeah, the Mothman is willing to be put through a series of experiments over the phone to prove that it's omniscient or some shit. But you're right.
Yes.
But then at that moment only speaks in bizarre, riddles, like he's Yoda or some thing. Yeah, I agree.
And it's more like the guy on the bridge. Answer me these questions 3.
What is unladen swallow? Anyway, let's jump right in to the highlights of the Mothman Prophecies. Aaron, you go first. What do you got?
I mean, Miranda's husband from Sex and the City is in this also. You forgot to mention him.
Although I don't know his real name.
He was always so... Right, I don't know his real name either, and he's on a current show, speaking of doctors and hospitals, but he was always so wimpy. Not my favorite character.
You prefer Mr. Big?
As far as highlights...
Take your time.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. A place this size, 300 will die. Oh, okay. That could be anywhere in the whole world. Why aren't you coming and telling the people from the other disasters?
Right. Well, and again, like you said,
what is the point of that?
They don't know. And they said, you will not ever understand, because they see Richard Gere tracks down the expert who've written a book about it and asks him about it. And he's basically like, you'll never understood their alien motivations. Right? Why, if they want to tell you what's going to happen,
they're aliens?
Tell you? Well, just alien as,
or do they mean alien as strange?
Alien as strange. That's what we're talking about. Although, in the book that the movie is based upon, there are aspects that seem to suggest there is an outer space element to this, where they just got rid of that and tried to make it seem more supernatural in the movie. So how about that? Strange.
Is Indrid Cole supposed to give us a meaning?
That is,
because that's what the creature's name is.
Correct. Indrid Cold was actually from the book. Some witness in Point Pleasant, West Virginia, back in the 60s, said that somebody called them and identified themselves as Indrid Cold, and then gave them a crazy prophecy that seemed to suggest, of course, after the fact, it's like Nostradamus, it seemed to suggest it was talking about this particular disaster on the bridge, which did actually occur.
Maybe he's saying I'm in the cold. I'm out on the street in the phone booth.
Could be. Well, there's a setup.
And why Richard Gere, who's far away, 4 hours away?
The novelist seemed to suggest that you noticed them. And by noticing them, they have now noticed you. And now you're into this. You're in this shit now. So how about that?
But other people noticed them and nothing happened to them. There was an old woman who saw the 8-foot Mothman in the backyard. Then there was the recovering alcoholic who ended up dying. I mean,
yes.
Good heavens. I think the Mothman killed as many as he saved. I don't know.
If we go back, Mothman clearly are not trying to save anybody, right? Clearly not. It's more like, hey, by the way, after it's over, after each of these horrible disasters are over, you'll be able to say, hey, that guy predicted it. In retrospect, I guess the Mothman knew what they were talking about because they're riddles. 99 will die, Denver 9. Means nothing to anybody until afterwards. Oh, by the way, an airliner crashed. The 9 flight from Denver.
It's not enough information to do anything with.
Correct. There will be
literally, if Richard Gere hadn't turned around and drove back and got stuck on the bridge and heard strange sounds, he was like, "Oh,
right."
Oh,
Richard Gere ruined his career essentially over this. I guess he is a political columnist for the Washington Post, whose wife,
it's Bob Woodward,
right? 100%. Although he might be more Carl Bernstein than Woodward.
I gotcha.
He because he's checking out houses in Virginia with Deborah Messing, and they're like, "We love this house. Why don't we in the closet while the realtor's walking around?"
I literally wrote down, gross. Don't victimize me for your sexual thrills, freaks. I'm like, now you ain't going to get the house. How about that,
now you lost the offer. Offer's off the table.
You and your dirty whore wife, get out of here.
Who's so bizarre?
And that's why the car crashed.
He was. Because he's like, drive fast, honey. We got to do this, and we got to do this quick. That's why she spun on the black ice. It was a sad situation.
What if the agent was the Mothman, and now you piss me off, you dirty freaks? Not only that, I'm going to put you in the real estate database to deal with these freaks.
There's a special database for real estate, so you do not rent.
I bet there is. There's probably some weird group chat or something where they can share information about freaky clients.
There's no real estate client privilege. They
Dude,
do some freaky stuff.
I bet there is.
Oh, please.
I was on a flight, and there was like I don't know, a deadhead flight attendant sitting next to me, and I got a notice from the airline that I'd missed the flight, even though I'm on the fucking plane. So I pushed the button so she turns around, and she went on to the group chat to find out what was going on and that multiple people. So if the flight people got it, me guessing local real estate are talking their own trash.
There's no realtor oath you take. First, do no harm. Right? As far as I know, maybe there is.
There's no flight attendant oath. We sat around and talked about going to Daiso and going to concerts.
I believe.
Boom.
So they're racing home to go to Pound Town because they're like teenagers. I guess this is their way to establish this is a loving married couple. They love each other so much.
They like each other.
Even though clearly Richard Gere is an older gentleman, he's on the pill, the little blue pill. He's ready to rock. All right. He's ready to do this. So speeding home, they hit the black ice.
His testosterone is Hegset approved.
Evidently. And that's when Deborah Messing, who's driving the car, sees the Mothman flying up like Dracula, and she spins out of control and whacks her head, which seems like in retrospect it was a good thing because they discover a mass or something in her brain. So you think, oh, thank goodness the Mothman did this to alert them, hey, get yourself checked out. No, she's dead in 5 seconds anyway. They find it. Oh, it's too
You
late.
did it 5 seconds. What was the
Yes.
point? Did they just accidentally see the Mothman? Because he is 8 feet tall, so if he's flapping around, I mean, I guess if a condor jumped in front of you with a 15-foot wingspan, you might notice it.
You might.
But not an 8-foot Mothman with glowing red eyes.
Because Richard Gere didn't see it. She's like, did you see it?
Right.
No, I don't know what the hell you're talking about. It's just, maybe it's the tumor talking. But you're right. This whole intro really serves no purpose other than to establish that Richard Gere is kind of sad inside. Right?
Because how else are you going to get him involved in this nonsense?
Right. 100%. Well, what is it? 2 years later. 2 years later, he's supposed to meet the rest of the newsroom for drinks. And he says, I'm not up to it. Instead, at 1 a.m, I'm going to drive from D.C. to Richmond, Virginia, because I'm supposed to interview the governor tomorrow. I mean, he's like a highfalutin, political columnist. He doesn't write for the Inquirer or something. It's not Bat Boy Lives, right?
Don't they have trains on the East Coast anyway, too, on top of that?
But it's clearly not
in the morning. I want to be nice and wrung out for the interview.
Exactly. Now, here's where it gets creepy, right? Smash cut to, it's 2:30 in the morning. The car is shut off. The phone is jacked up. He's knocking on the door of like a farmhouse nearby. And that's Will Patton shows up, puts a shotgun in his face and says, "You've been knocking on my door at 2:30 in the morning the last 3 nights." And of course, Richard Gere's like, I don't know what the hell you're talking about. I haven't been doing that. And they also discover that rather than going to Richmond, Virginia, okay, which is not that far from DC, he is somehow in an hour and a half, if he was driving 80 miles an hour, he's gone through all of Virginia and all of West Virginia, practically to the Ohio border in an hour and a half. And he doesn't know why he's here. How did I get here? So this is like those moments where you're like, ooh, there's, the beginnings of kind of a creepy mystery.
Mothman is my co-pilot.
Mothman take the wheel. 100%.
Mothman take the wheel. I wrote down Mothman is a bitch. F him.
Why do you say that? I'm excited
about this Mothman thing. Because like I said, I'm like... Give me some information that's really going to help people. I feel like Richard Gere, if he had just been on that bridge without all this nonsense and you're hearing creaking and cracking, you might be nervous.
Right. Well, later in the movie, he meets with the novelist who wrote, I keep calling him a novelist. I guess he's a journalist. He wrote a book about the Mothman phenomenon. And basically how it affected his life. Like he almost went to jail. His family left him. He was kicked out of his home because he was getting these prophecies that were worthless. Like he would go down one path and be wrong. And if he was right, then people were like, well, how did you know? Put your hands up. You're going to jail, essentially. So he tells him.
You must have caused it. Absolutely.
Right. Which is a reasonable reaction when somebody says it's like, hey, the bridge is going to blow the day before. But he says, if they want you there, if the Mothman has led you to Point Pleasant, West Virginia, and you know there's going to be a disaster there, the only reason that you've been brought there is to die. It's because it wants you to die in this disaster. So think on that. How's that grab you? A lot of this
interesting, and yet he doesn't.
He does.
Well, and yet he doesn't. Although he should. It's fucking Christmas in freezing cold hypothermia water. Dives in like he's in a sauna, swimming around, getting Laura Linney, who's already should have had a heart attack and died. And it just, put a blanket over your shoulders. You should have been crystallized.
Oh, no
it's
question.
A bunch of bullshit.
Well, and we meet Laura Linney. She's the sheriff of the town. And I have to say, she looked pretty foxy in this movie. Am I crazy? She looked like
Love
dynamite.
Laura Linney. I always like her. Always like her.
Right. I mean, she's a good actress. She always portrays
these kind of very caring characters. I'm sorry. I no longer know how to put my phone on silent. And Instacart keeps texting me.
Please get back to us. It's like the Mothman's reaching out to you. It's a thing. No, Sheila.
It is. It's the Instacart lady. Same thing.
When I saw Laura Linney in Congo, I was just like, whatever. She's got a weird hairstyle. But when I see Laura Linney in Mothman Prophecies, I'm like, ooh, looking kind of foxy today, Laura Linney. How about that? And I guess we're supposed to think that there's some kind of heat between her and Richard Gere in this movie, right? We're supposed to think like, because you never actually see them kiss or anything. Right, go ahead.
They clearly have a bond. I mean, he jumps in the water to save her, so
he does.
Clearly, they're gonna go race home and have sex as fast as they can.
Well, hopefully, while observing the rules of the road at that stage of the game.
Depends who's driving, because she just drove her police car into the lake. So I don't know. Maybe he's drawn to crazy bad drivers.
It's just everybody's got a type. Everybody's got a type.
Yeah.
So most of this movie, honestly, is kind of like almost like an In Search Of episode with Leonard Nimoy.
Right.
Where like, except
that's a little clearer.
And more interesting. Right. No question. It's like, here are people, this person's met.
I feel like...
Go ahead.
Yeah. I feel like, why isn't Netflix bringing that back? I feel like that would be a fun show. Revisiting all these cryptid and strange happenings. Gen X, we were familiar with the Bermuda Triangle and all these missing people, and this stuff's still going on.
Mm-hmm.
But 100%. The young whippersnappers, unless they're playing D&D, they don't know.
I remember...
I'm kept in the channel because my son has to give me very long explanations about all of it.
I remember in the 70s watching reruns. Like, you're flipping channels, it's 5 o'clock on a Saturday, and In Search Of comes up with Leonard Nimoy as the narrator. And just the intro was terrifying. And monsters. They would like...
Terrifying.
It was terrifying. And it would deal with...
Bigfoot's frozen, and the music... Ooh, I'm going to slip into Macmillan and Wife, but it was like, I can't even remember. It's like a zither or whatever it is. No, I've been doing Star Trek. I can't remember, but it was the music was terrifying.
It was.
It was about monsters and strange occurrences. They need it.
If you don't remember, it was a documentary series where they would talk about kind of unexplained occurrences, like talk to experts and, here's some news footage and blah, blah, blah. So it's kind of an interesting, like a Time Life book. They used to do, that's a deep pull as well. You used to be able to go online. You couldn't go online. Yeah. You had to call in and say
an order. Just say you used to go online? No, you did not.
Goddamn lie. You would call in and they would.
You might have been taking some lines.
You better believe it. White lines. And you'd give them your credit card number over the phone, and every month they'd send you a new copy of the latest Time Life book that dealt with ancient aliens or crop circles or whatever. Cryptids, right?
Or Nazi Holocaust atrocities. I had the one on like witches and wizards.
Yes.
Until I stopped paying them and they stopped sending them.
Well, and you could send back.
But it was a monthly subscription.
Yes. It's a monthly. And if a volume comes you're not down with, you could send it back for a full refund. That was their hook.
Yeah.
So we were interested in shit like that back in the day. So I guess what I'm trying to say is this movie, probably the meat of this movie is kind of like one of those Time Life books or In Search Of episodes where it was like, here are the locals and their experiences where, we were fucking in a field in our car and then the Mothman came and now my eye is fucked up. There's like flopping around. Right. 100%.
Like a moth. They just kept banging into their front headlights.
They did. But they were like literally like, we've got 10 reports from good church-going, God-fearing people. I believe them. I grew up with them. but they're reporting seeing these things. And later she's like, and 15 more people called in today. It's like the entire population of Point Pleasant, West Virginia has now seen a Mothman walking down Main Street. Is that what you're telling me at this stage of the game?
But he's only talking to 2 people?
Correct. Well, and sometimes...
What doesn't the Mothman just go kick down the bridge at midnight?
Because they don't cause the disasters. They just prophesy the disaster. They just tell you, oh, a disaster's coming. Get ready for some shit, is what happens.
I think it's an alien with poor communication skills.
Could be, but that's the other thing. Evidently, the Mothman can appear as though he's Richard Gere knocking on homie's door at 2:30 in the morning. Of course, we never see that. They just talk about it after the fact.
So why doesn't he walk up to Richard Gere dressed as Richard Gere and say, bro, let me tell you what's going on?
He shows up. He shows up as Deborah Messing at one point and was looking for him, but just missed him. Evidently, was walking out of the police station. God damn it.
Mothman knows everything, but not that.
Yeah. Not that. I'm just here to mess with you, is basically what this is. Right? So there are the creepy calls.
I can make you drive 4 hours and an hour and a half, but I can't figure out how to get in touch with you when I need to.
Right. Although I can call you.
Not when I'm dressed like your dead wife.
I can call your house.
I can call you in the toilet, but that's it.
And I let you record my voice. I let you record my voice so you can show it to people and they go, oh, that's weird. And I can call your house when you've ripped the phone out of the wall. Phone still be ringing.
That's right. Well, because he doesn't need the phone. I can call you on the toilet bowl.
Right.
Hello. How are you? He has a very complex vocabulary, except for premonitions.
Right. Well, and you don't know.
Then it's riddles.
You don't know their motivations. Are you trying to harm me? Or are you just trying to with me? Unclear what anybody's motivations is in this movie.
They could have kept him in DC and just had him get shot by a drive-by.
Is there anything else you want to talk about the Mothman Prophecy? Or should we move on with our lives?
Let me see here if I have any information, because the blacking out kind of reminded me of... I don't know. It kind of reminded me of Hannibal, but that was a different situation. That's a completely different situation. No, I guess I have nothing else to say. I was not overly thrilled, and I don't know why people are so excited about this, because people are. This is a popular movie.
I honestly think. I mean, it's not like it's a piece of shit by any stretch of the imagination.
I'm not going to watch it again.
Well, but
it's too many.
It's basically just, I wanted to see some Mothman doing some Mothman shit, is what I wanted. I wanted to see a creepy hand. I wanted to see a dude flapping by.
Some creepy pasta.
Give me some kind of thing. Give me a Slenderman. Do something, right? I want to see some shit. This was a lot of like theater of the mind. Like he's talking on the phone. It's not really Will Patton's voice. It was the Mothman all along. Damn it. I'm standing here with the Mothman. Put him on, okay?
If Richard Gere was supposed to die, then why was Laura Linney the one getting that she's 37?
Her dreams. Wake up, number 37.
See?
Wake up. 36 died.
Wake up,
she was 37. Number 37 who survived. That was kind of a cool thing in retrospect. But then
that was cool.
Yeah.
But that really blows away his... Is he prophesizing if you're the one supposed to die?
Right. Did number 36 have a dream saying, stay asleep, number 36. Stay asleep.
Yeah. Richard Gere, you're number 38. Keep driving.
Jump in. Dive in. Dive in. Number 38.
Dive in with your overcoat on in sub-zero temperatures.
Please do. Anyway. Okay, well,
swim like you're in a sauna. Like your heart's going to explode. It's so cold.
You don't. Okay, here's the thing. Swimming with like 15 overcoats on, not an easy thing to do. Okay, let's just say that.
No, you're gonna
Not-
sing like a stone.
Right. And at any moment, some concrete could just crash onto you, and that will be the end of your story. So there you go.
Correct.
Anyway, let's look behind the scenes, shall we?
And it's cold. It's the cold that's gonna kill you.
It's Idrid cold. who will kill you.
Titanic friends, remember? They needed to be out of the water.
This movie is based on actual events that occurred between November 1966 and December 1967 in Point Pleasant, West Virginia. And when we say based upon real events, we're talking about there were some sightings of the Mothman. The Mothman said some shit to some people, and the bridge broke. That's what you
Did
get.
the Mothman say the bridge was gonna break?
It said some shit like there will be a disaster on the river of Ohio. That was the fucking prophecy.
The Ohio River or on a river in Ohio?
Unclear.
Yeah, vague enough. Kevin, I just want to tell you, I think I am the Mothman. Here's my prophecy. I predict that in California, on this day, whatever day this is that you're listening to, 2 cars will be involved in a terrible accident on Interstate 5. I'll bow to my prophecy.
I'll bow.
How about that?
There will be an occurrence.
How about join the cult? The cult of Aaron. I'll give you
100%.
another prophecy tomorrow. Equally obscure.
What I'm telling you is that the character of Richard Gere is wholly fictional. Laura Linney, wholly fictional.
I believe it.
Will Patton, wholly
believe
fictional. All of those, the main characters
Also
are
believe.
totally made up. They're made up. Okay? There was no Deborah
You know what
Messing.
else is made up? This whole fucking movie. This
Yes.
whole movie is made up.
The one thing, it was, like I said, based upon this book by John Keel, and they took that character, the guy who wrote the book, and turned him into the Mothman expert in the movie, whose name was Leek, which is Keel spelled backwards. Just to be one more person to be like, here's some more information. Yeah.
Beautiful.
That's how they do it.
Perfect.
Lakeshore Entertainment cut $2 million from the budget just days before shooting began, and the director was furious. Mark Pellington. Evidently, the studio's always messing.
They had equal confidence.
Contrary to popular belief, the Mothman wasn't originally described as a moth-like creature by witnesses. He was described as half bird and half man. And a local hunter shot and killed a flying creature, which turned out to be an owl. And it's now in the Point Pleasant Museum, Mothman Museum, as the body of a Mothman. How about that?
All right. Their problem solved. Problem solved. Dude, we had a clown a couple years ago that was just showing up on street corners late at night holding balloons under street lights. And it became a whole thing. Suddenly, everybody saw him. He was everywhere.
Terrifying.
He was trying to kidnap people. He was doing this. He was doing that. No.
Not
just
your
a
jam.
couple of influencers. They literally did it 3 times, and for a year, the whole county was in terror.
The Mothman that was seen from 1966-67 was originally named after the title of the popular TV show Batman. Like that's what inspired.
No. That makes more sense to me.
Yep. Second film where Lucinda Jenny and Will Patton portray a couple. They were originally in Remember the Titans, a few years older, also playing husband and wife. How about that? Richard Gere and Laura Linney had previously appeared together in Primal Fear in 1996, which is a good one, I think.
I thought you were going to tell me they had previously. been in an intimate relationship.
Yes.
But that's not the case.
The director, Mark Pellington, was the bartender and also the voice of Indrid Cold during the phone call. How about that?
Great.
That's something.
How about that?
How about that?
It's something, all right.
Let's look at the cast and crew, shall we?
Yes,
let's see. The director is Mark Pellington. You know him from such things as Arlington Road in 1999. He was in The Mothman Prophecy, or he directed The Mothman Prophecy in 2002. He was additional crew in Jerry Maguire in 1996. How about that?
Crew. He could have been getting Old Thomas coffee or whatever.
He could have been. And he played Freddy in the movie Almost Famous. How about that? I don't remember the character of Freddy, but I'm sure it's very important.
Yeah.
Let's see. And by the way, let me say, I am a Richard Gere defender from way back when. I like some 80s style Richard Gere. That's my jam. Okay? And I'm not ashamed
I'm neutral.
That's upsetting to me.
Maybe you should be, but I'm neutral because he always reminded me of our Uncle Bob. I always thought Uncle Bob looked like him.
Richard Gere was known for playing Billy Flynn in Chicago in 2002.
Fine job. I love Chicago.
He was in Pretty Woman in 1990, maybe his most famous role.
Never saw it.
He was in An Officer and a Gentleman in 1982, playing Zach Mayo.
Very upsetting.
Very upsetting. Well, these are the movies. 80s into 90s Richard Gere is basically the charming asshole. That's basically what you get. Be it American Gigolo, be it Officer and a Gentleman. All of these things, he's like, I'm charming, but I'm also kind of an asshole. And also, his early film roles were almost uniformly offered to John Travolta, who turned them down. All of his big hits were...
He's the Sandy Bullock. Is that what you're saying to Roberts?
In 1997, he played Declan Mulqueen in The Jackal, doing what is arguably the most offensive Irish accent the world has ever seen. So if for no other reason...
I haven't seen it.
It's horrible.
It's like he's a stranger to me.
He might be. It's a sad situation. Laura Linney played Sheriff Connie Mills. You know her from such things as The Big C. I remember that TV series. 40 episodes from 2010.
Never watched that.
She was in The Savages in 2007. I'm unfamiliar with that.
She was in the Christmas movie.
What Christmas movie was she in?
Wasn't she? She's in the British one. What's it called?
Yes, she was in oh Jesus, Love Actually. She was in Love Actually.
Love Actually.
She was in Kinsey in 2004. She was in You Can Count on Me in 2000. She was in Congo.
She's like a stranger to me also.
Not a stranger. Congo, damn it.
We have Love Actually and Congo. There we go.
Can't beat that. She was in 44 episodes of Ozark. I'm just going to keep going. She's in a ton of stuff.
Nope.
She was in The Truman Show. List goes on and on.
Never saw it.
Do you even see movies? What in the hell is going on here? Let's see. Will Patton played Gordon Smallwood, who we barely spoke about. He's like a hillbilly who's also communicating with the Moth people. You know him from The Postman. That was that Kevin Costner
Il Postino.
He was in No Way Out, which is another jam.
Dude, I do love No Way Out.
Great. Excellent film. Armageddon. He played Chick in Armageddon. He was great
Yeah.
in Armageddon, and of course the Mothman
That was
Prophecy.
that my gasp was just for Armageddon as a whole.
Fair, fair. Let's do Deborah Messing. She played Mary Klein for about 2 minutes of this movie. You
Yep.
know her for 246 episodes as Grace
Let's face it,
Adler.
this is the only way we know her. Will and Grace.
100%. Well, she was on a show called Ned and Stacy in 1996, another kind of sitcom.
But nobody cared.
With Thomas Hayden Church. It's what he did after he left Wings. So that was on for a couple of years. She was in The Wedding Date.
Because frankly, Will and Grace were the least interesting characters. Nobody actually cared about Will and Grace.
No.
You wanted the sub-characters. They were the best part. Why didn't they get a spin-off?
What was it? It was Sean Hayes and Megan Mullally were the best.
Yes. Oh my God, they were the best.
She was in The Wedding Date in 2005, 6 episodes of The Starter Wife in 2007, and Hollywood Ending in 2002. Any of those doing it for you?
You're just making sounds. I don't know what any of these things mean.
It's a sad, sad situation.
Indeed.
Let's take a look at the rating, shall we?
Let's go. I feel like I'm going to be disappointed with the public's rating.
It's possible.
I'm going to need my fake cigarette for this. Continue.
The Mothman Prophecies currently have on Rotten Tomatoes 52% rotten is what the critics gave it. What do you think the audience
And the public gave it 48.
56. Also a failing score, but not quite as low as you thought. I'm sad to say.
In my eyes, it's a failure, though. That's what's important.
Let's look at the top critics, shall we?
Let's go.
Peter Bradshaw from The Guardian says, the stone-faced gear is more at home here than in a rom-com role, and there are a few effectively scary moments, but it goes on a good 15 minutes too long.
All right.
Okay.
I mean, the potential's there. The potential's
100%.
there, but like with so many things in life, it did not meet its potential.
Didn't get the
job
job
done.
into
a sea of mediocrity.
Right, it's a lot of Richard Gere scared while he's on the phone. Ah, who's calling me? Right.
Why didn't you text first?
Pretty much. Oh, for The Observer, we have Rex Reed. Rex Reed. He checked this one out.
Real Rex Reed.
Real Rex Reed. He says, even with your eyebrows raised and your tongue planted firmly in cheek, the whole thing gets under your skin in ways that will creep you out. How about that? He kind of liked it. That's not the Rex Reed we know.
He likes Richard Gere. I think that was it. No.
Oh, fair. Well, fear not. We're going to check in with our in-house movie critic, AI Rex Reed.
Let's go.
Controversial. Here's what he has to say. The Mothman Prophecies is a dreary parade of whispered phone calls, gloomy stares, and cryptic nonsense that mistakes relentless solemnity for suspense, leaving you to wonder if the real supernatural phenomenon is how it makes 119 minutes feel like an eternity.
Facts.
That's
it. Couldn't have said it better myself. Thank you, AI Rex Reed. Aaron's response is, if you have problems focusing during long, boring spells, you're not going to want to see this at the theater, since your phone will be frowned upon when you start Googling nonsense because you're so bored with this. If you like movies that don't make sense, but have a few moody moments, you might like this. If you like the idea of something that gives prophecies, then subscribe to my content. Thank you. I'm giving this nonsense. I mean, I'll give it. It's not the worst movie in the world. For sure, there's worse, but that ain't saying much. I'm going to give this I don't know, like a 3, I guess.
Boom!
Like,
Look at you. Okay.
I was going
Fair.
to give it a 2.99. Actually, I'm revising it.
Go
It's
ahead.
not good enough. It's got too much of a budget and too many stars for it to be this rotten. 2.99.
I'm going to give it 2.5. I'm going even lower than you.
All right.
It's not a horrible piece of shit. It's not.
No.
But it is disappointing. It's disappointing. I wanted it to be, it could have been creepy. It could have been really like kind of atmospheric and creepy. But those moments were kind of few and far between, in my opinion. And again,
now, do you see there's a series?
No, is there? On what channel?
On Netflix. I think it's like Netflix. When I was looking, I think I watched this. I can't remember if I watched this on Netflix or Prime, but when I typed in Mothman Prophecies, it was movie series.
Oh shit!
I was like, oh, I'll look into it and let you know.
There were other.
Continue on. I'm sorry, I interrupted you.
It's okay. There were other Mothman properties out in the world, but not my
prophecies.
Properties
not
and
real
prophecies. Now that should be the Mothman Properties. Yeah, it's a behind the scenes
Mothman
reality
brothers.
show.
Will the Mothman come and flip your house?
100%. God damn it! No, it is just below okay. It's kind of my attitude. It had a good thing, but it never kind of gets it together. I thought the ending was actually kind of interesting, but you're right. The moment you see the wire start snapping, you're like, I guess I'm not going to cross this bridge anymore. How about that? Anyway,
I mean, you can if you want. I'm not going to do it myself.
I'm not doing it. How about that? Any last thoughts on the Mothman?
I'm going to take whatever thoughts I have and I'm going to drift them away. The only good thing about the Mothman Prophecy is if I dress up as the Mothman for Halloween. And I'm going to just give obscure prophecies all day to the children. Yay.
You should. Anywho, so thank you very much. We are across the social media landscape. We're on Blue Sky, we're on Threads, Instagram, TikTok. You can also see our smiling faces on YouTube. Ooh la la. You can email us the podcast that wouldn't die at Gmail. We're on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, anywhere the finer podcasts are available. So don't forget to like, share, rate, and review. Won't you?
Won't you please?
Aaron, what is your social media situation?
I have artwork on Artsy and First Dibs, Instant Dream Galleries, Aaron Doherty. Check out my Polaroids. I run the podcasts, TikTok and Instagram, and my personal Instagram is The Cult of Aaron with like an underscore after each word. Join the cult.
I remember when you got mad at me when I'm like using like T podcast TW die. You're like, why don't you just write it all out? Because it takes forever to write out the podcast that wouldn't die at Gmail, for example.
Dude, my Gmail is join the cult of Aaron with like a dash or an underscore for every single one. Yeah, I understand.
Nightmare. As you know, we like to check in with our friends and family across the social media landscape. Aaron, what are the streets saying?
Dude, and Dora on Friendster sent me a message wanting us to cover The Love Witch. You know, there's all this good obsession. Why not flip the script and do just the opposite of obsession? The Love Witch.
So
shot in 35 millimeter.
Go ahead and check in with Andorra. Is that from
Andorra.
Bewitched?
Well, I don't know where she works.
She's Elizabeth Montgomery's mom, Agnes Moorehead. Is that what you're saying?
Agnes Moorehead.
Fair. We will add it to the list. But next week we may have a special guest. We like to keep you in surprise. You'll have to tune in to find out. We are doing the French Belgian body horror romp, Titan, starring many French actors. Where can you watch Titan?
Wait, doesn't Teton mean boob? Like the Grand Tetons mean big boobs.
And it's not spelled that way.
Are we watching a French film called Boob?
If only. If only.
La Mammary?
It's Teton is spelled like Titan with an E on the end. Teton.
Oh, okay.
So, anyway, how can you watch Teton? You can watch it on Tubi for free, Canopy for free. You can rent it for $3.99 on Apple TV or Fandango at home. How about that? So you have options.
I'm gonna have options. A Fandango party. That sounds awesome.
So send in your favorite scenes, favorite quotes, comments, and questions about Teton, and we may talk about it on the show. So thank you very much, and be well.
Be well.